Okay, I see.
This meeting is being recorded.
I will share it in the WhatsApp groups as well. There you go. 2 seconds. Um, there we go. Let me just share it there. Just sharing it on a few parts. Awesome. Perfect. I see still a lot of people have joined this link. Oh wow, there were actually quite a bit of people that joined today. So how much total on WhatsApp? 344. Oh, that's quite a bit more than I expected it to be. Nice. Okay, how's everyone doing? I see a bunch of people with a webcam on. I see probably 50 or so with no webcam on. Um, Please make sure you join. I'm just going to share it in our Discord community as well. And then live. Tick. Everyone. There we go. That's that one. And then I got Discord. I think I got everything. Please, in meanwhile, for everyone, go ahead and ask your questions inside of the chat. That's going to be the way to do it. Yeah, pretty much make sure you ask your questions already. I will go over the questions quite soon. Um, Also, in this case, I see a specific question. I or J, I wonder if I should ditch my YouTube channel or keep going. In this case, the only way for me to judge your YouTube channel is if you actually go ahead and link me to YouTube channel. I can't make judgments without looking at the channel. It depends on the niche, it depends on the content, depends on the quality. I cannot make a fair assessment if I do not have all the channel intro, slash data slash information. Okay.
Als mensen alweer stellen.
Wat zei je, Mike?
Hoeveel vragen mensen alweer stellen?
Yeah. Perfect. We're now at 109. Perfect. I want to prepare quite a bit of things. I'm just preparing two more things that I wanted to have done before, but sometimes times move very fast. So this is one. Just have to pull up two more channels, and then I want to go through everything one by one by one by one, making sure people first of all understand niche finding. Of course, this is already taught in our program, but I think it's really important to go over it today. But also explain on what is actually safe to run and what is actually not safe to run. And I think this is going to be very interesting for pretty much every single one of you guys. And yeah, the goal once again here is to share as much knowledge as possible. So how it normally works in our community is that when I go live or when another coach go live, is we normally talk for 45 minutes and then we have 15 minutes of questions. Now in this case, I'm covering a lot of things that are already being discussed, but there will probably be certain notes that you will see or hear that you haven't caught up on yet. So first of all, my recommendation for now, for let's say the next 2 minutes, is grab a pen and paper, grab a note, and also write. The thing is, when you write something, you'll actually remember and go back to it. When you just get the recording link, a lot of people, I think probably 90% of you, 95% of you, will never look back at this call again. This is just simple statistics. We can see how this works. We have all the data and also over 2,000 plus students. So we understand how for people watch and what they actually find interesting. And I think this is really, really, really important to, yeah, pretty much say very directly. Let me just check if I have the right channels. Yeah, I got the right one now. And then here I got the other brand of badges. So there's also different ways of doing YouTube automation. And I also want to get into that. Yeah, I think I got enough for now. Just want to go ahead and change one more link to a Miro. So first of all, who's here has not heard yet of YouTube automation or barely understands what it means? Can you just type in a 1 in the chat if you do not know really what YouTube automation is? If this is like your first time hearing it again, like pull up a hand, make it simple. If this is your first time. Okay, perfect. So once again, I want to start from the beginning and really explain to
Precies nu ook aan
everyone
het appen.
what it means. Also, everyone, if you join, please mute. I don't have that in automatic settings. I see a few people don't understand what YouTube automation is. So I'll go through it. So YouTube automation is simply two words. YouTube is what everyone knows because, yeah, everyone has watched a video on YouTube by now. I assume unless you live somewhere in the bottom of Africa and got access to the internet yesterday, you most likely understand what YouTube is. Number two, automation. What is automation? Automation means to automate something, to automate a process. So in this case, YouTube automation means to automate YouTube videos. So how can you automate YouTube videos? There's pretty much two ways of automating YouTube videos. Number one is by hiring people, leveraging your money, and for sure, a lot of the Western people leveraging your purchasing power to purchase labor for cheaper. Pretty much what any huge gigantic company does, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like your iPhone gets made in China, the Chinese average salary is $1,100. That's very simple. That's the average monthly salary there. In the Philippines, you can get people for $300 all the way up to $1,000 and beyond. And then there's multiple platforms to hire people in order to automate your processes. Now we're in 2026, and if you scroll on Instagram, you've probably seen some videos that talk about, in this case, AI. AI is the new hot topic. It's pretty much how anything and everything, for sure in the digital marketing space, is being sold. Hey, make easy money online leveraging AI. And relatively, honestly, it is true. It has been never easier to make money on YouTube or even in general than it is today. And there's a very important AI quote that I want to go over, and that's the following. And is that AI should be used to extend the human capability in order to achieve work. That is the goal of AI. AI is not necessarily to 100% replace a human being, but it is meant there to make the work of the human being more efficient. To write a whole document is not necessary. You can better make a prompt, control the document, and then finalize it. It just speeds up your work process and it makes you more valuable. So that's the basics of YouTube automation. Now there's a few different ways of actually doing YouTube automation. I'll go ahead and pull this up. And this pretty much goes over one of the videos that I recently uploaded on YouTube. And once again, you can ask all the questions. On the end, I will go through all of them as long as they're applicable and they're normal questions. Not like, what is your niche? Because then you can go fuck off. I'll share what I want to share of my own channels, and that's it. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So on YouTube, there's 5 ways of doing YouTube automation. This is pretty much the most simple example I can bring up, because as an example, we go from simple all the way to more advanced to probably stuff you won't understand. Please don't draw on the image. That will be annoying. I don't even know why that is possible, but please don't. Here, sleep channels is pretty much number one thing. So here we have 3 channels. We have Sundown Science, the Snoozetorian, and Sleep Nomad. So YouTube automation exists out of these 5 things: sleep channels, traditional YouTube automation, VidRush, high quality YouTube automation, and branded. And one of the videos I actually still need to make is, what is the cost breakdown? Because once again, we're looking here to automate the YouTube process. We're not here building editors. Like as an example, in my paid program, I do not have a single video teaching you how to edit, because your goal is to automate it. It's called a YouTube automation program for a reason. It's because we want to automate this process. You know, I'm a lazy piece of shit. I'd rather have other people work for me than I work for other people. And that's pretty much how it is. Well, technically speaking, I work for YouTube. So I want to focus mostly in this video on these 3. Because if you're here, you're most likely already working with us. If you're here, then you're probably brand new. So what are these 3 things? So first of all, sleep channels. Sleep channels are pretty much channels designed in order for the viewer to fall asleep. And this also gets into multiple boxes. Because if you watch content on YouTube, and once again, my goal is always to help you understand the way that I think. And you want to understand who is the viewer on the other side watching and why are they watching. Is it that they are going to the job? Is it that they are having a lunch break? Is it that they are sitting at home with their family? Is it that they are going ahead and having problems sleeping? Content for insomnia, content for to fall asleep to. So you have to understand with every piece of content you upload, who exactly are you targeting? And then, of course, the richer people you target, the more money YouTube will pay you per 1,000 views, which is the word RPM, standing for revenue per mille. Mille is the French word for 1,000. So how much money you keep after YouTube takes its cut, the people that have ad blocker gets deducted. So pretty much your cut after any and all cost that YouTube pays out to you. That's your RPM. And that's what we will always be talking about. CPMs are not really relevant. If you have a very high computer audience, then 1/5 won't be monetized. So that's that. Then we have sleep channels. So sleep channels is the first thing I'm going to be talking about. So we have, as an example, science channels, space channels, and technically speaking, even AI image channels. And there's a few things about this. So first of all, space channels are relatively more safe, and I'll explain why. The reason why space channels, or channels that have 2 hour plus long of duration, are safer is if they make use of visual content. The thing that YouTube is against is inauthentic content. And then we need to look at the definition of inauthentic content according to the YouTube Terms of Service. And that means either mass templated content that is not educational. So the thing with science is the content here is educational. The content here is transformative because there has been made a documentary on space. And YouTube's AI, they can't check in this case if what is shown in the video is actually accurate to the script. They can only see what is in the video and they can only see what is in the script. It doesn't really combine it yet. Maybe in the future it will. But as right now, all the space channels are easily and savable to monetize. And this goes for science and this goes for space in general. Then we have channels such as the Snoozetorian. And this is actually my own personal channel. And it's right now doing $25,000 a month. I'll show it on the end. And it's doing phenomenal. And the reason here why this channel is a little bit more safe is we talk about a wider area of the timeline. There's a lot of people that have posted videos on boring history, in this case, that are very templated. Every single video talks about rural England, or it talks about the 1800s America. The thing that we do on the Snoozetorian is we talk about every single timeline. So we talk about the 1950s, we talk about the 1970s. Also, what we've done, and what is in these days more important, is to have a channel intro. And this doesn't need to be you. The reason that I did my own face on this video is purely that people didn't believe it was me actually owning the channel. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to make a channel intro because I don't care. I have a fucking teleprompter right here. So I can very easily make any sort of appeal videos, channel intro videos. That saves my team a lot of time and it saves me a little bit of money to go ahead and organize. So this is just like around 10 minutes of work per video. So here we have a channel intro. So this already gives a more human perspective to the channel. And that is really good. Then here, if we go to the videos, there's one thing we have to understand. Here it talks about the Gilded Age. Here it talks about the most evil queens in history. It doesn't even specify the timeline of the video. And as you can see, it is monetized. Both NexLev and TubeLab confirm that this channel is monetizing. I can also log in later to the channel and I can show you how and what. So these are what we call sleep channels. And as you can see, every single video is 2 hours or longer. And that's the reason YouTube pays us $30 per 1,000 views. The average person on YouTube, they only get paid around $3 to $5. So we're getting paid 5 to 10 times more than the regular YouTuber. Then let's go back to the document. Here we have relatively simple videos. Sleep Nomad is more of a channel that is a little bit more risky. Why? It is educational, but the content is very simple. And I'll show a 1,000 niche document in a second as well, where we found a lot of niches. And we actually updated it, so I will send a new one after the call is finished. So then we go to traditional YouTube automation. But first of all, of course, let me just get one more thing said over this. With sleep channels, the important thing, of course, is that you're focused on people that are watching on phone and they're falling asleep. There's also, this is by the way an older screenshot, is that people are promoting Spotify. Spotify is here there's nothing, and here there's threads.com. I don't understand why they do threads. Maybe it's a theme page that they have. But it even shows on Spotify as an example, if we type in boring history, you will go ahead and actually find us quite high up now. We're now the second highest on Spotify, and this is also growing, and Spotify is also earning money. And this shows you that when you're building digital assets, you're not just building for YouTube. We're also on Dailymotion, we're also on Amazon. We have a lot of platforms where we're leveraging our content, because what you need to understand is that you're creating digital assets. These videos and these channels, they can make money for years to come. And it's the same with good websites, good affiliate videos. There's so many ways on YouTube to make money, and people make money in the weirdest ways. Here we have traditional YouTube automation. So who are the people watching quiz videos? Well, 9 out of 10 times, those are mostly families on YouTube in this case, that are watching this with their family. That's the number one thing. And they're watching this on TV. Please do not draw. It's really annoying. Here we can see, as an example, the channel. Now, I do have to say that the quiz niche is actually under a little bit of scrutiny. We even had 5 channels also get demonetized for reused content, which is really annoying. Then here you can also see it's not monetized. I don't know why it says music video now. And TubeLab is still judging it. But as you can see, they are no longer uploading, even while they have 420,000 subscribers. And I think they deleted any and all videos that is no longer getting views because they used to have a couple hundred videos. Now it's 63. We can probably see it here. Yeah, they used to have 265 videos. So they're definitely adjusting their strategy to, in this case, make the channel more safe and hopefully regain YouTube monetization. So I wouldn't recommend going into the quiz niche. And you have to understand with YouTube is that things change. Here we have what we call a compilation channel. This is where Noah Morris, the owner of VidRush, got very famous from having court case videos, body dashcam videos. Yeah, in this case, a little bit of racist videos with a lot of text. YouTube doesn't like a lot of text, but it does get a lot of clicks. And here you have the body dashcam stuff, but you also have like a little bit more clickbait, traditional YouTube automation content. 55 times Mother Nature got angry. Those are clips compiled together with, of course, added voiceover. For these kind of channels, it is very important to have a channel intro and maybe even a behind-the-scenes video. Why? Because you are leveraging, what as YouTube says, content from other platforms, so it needs to be changed and transformative, pretty much making it its own video. Of course, a strong appeal video can help, but pretty much preventing something to happen is always more important. You know, curing cancer is a lot harder than preventing cancer. It's pretty much the same on YouTube. Maybe not the best example, but I think everyone will understand. And then we have the last one. And the last one is VidRush. And VidRush is pretty much revolutionary. And the reason why this is because the only thing, or the only person, technically speaking, that you need to hire right now is pretty much a scriptwriter. And what we pay is we pay $4 per script on Claude. And that then gets made with Claude code, very simple. And then the script we copy paste into VidRush. I'll actually go ahead and show you one of the videos, how it looks like as the end result, and how you can go ahead and pretty much write something. Then we have a few channels. We have here Forgotten American Skills. And now the thing is, if you see this channel and you think, oh my God, this channel makes a lot of money. A lot of things that have changed compared to 2 years ago. I also shared this in my old WhatsApp group for the coaching. And the thing that has changed is in the past, we wanted to be pretty much always player number 2, meaning that a niche gets traction, you get notified of something working, and then after that, it's simply, you never get number 1. You can never surpass someone by copying them. You can only surpass by someone by being unique, or by niche bending, niche blending. So what do these things actually mention, or actually mean? Here, Forgotten American Skills. Well, what is the thing here that we can go ahead and bend? What is the thing here that we can change? So here, Forgotten American Skills is we can do Forgotten Australian Skills. Now we are focusing not on the American demographic, but on the Australian demographic. Well, actually, since I think yesterday or 2 days ago, VidRush 2.0 released, which also means in this case that it can also do German. So you can do Forgotten American Skills, you can do Forgotten German Skills, or Forgotten World War II Skills, or Forgotten World War II Survival Tips. There's a lot of ways that you can come up with a unique concept. So you're going to get 2 things. One, having proof of concept only works as the base foundation. But from there, you need to go ahead and make something unique. That is key. Then, the same goes for brand meter. Here, as an example, you see a channel talking about male fashion. So if we have male fashion, and we can see it got 644,000 views in 10 days, and here 362,000 in a month, like how can we go ahead and change the concept of this channel? Like, please go ahead and type it in the chat. Let's see if you're correct. Let's see if I can go ahead and roast you. Very simple. So go ahead and come up with a niche brand ID. What is a unique way of introducing almost identical content, but yet targeting a completely different demographic? Go ahead and type that into the chat. Probably some people from our community will go ahead and know that. Women's clothing for women, female fashion, beauty products, old money style products. That's also a very good one. I don't know who Solo is, but can you stop drawing? It's really annoying. Accessories, watches, yep. Cars. Cars is very far off. Clothing has nothing to do with cars, but kids content, in this case, you have to be... the problem with kids is that you would be targeting mothers in this case. It would still work, but it's not ideal. And the reason for this is actually that with kids content, it can be marked for kids, and YouTube is so ridiculously strict with this that it is actually like annoying. You can get your channel terminated even though you don't make a mistake just by YouTube thinking it's made for kids and you not marking it made for kids. So kids is a good idea. I don't even think it exists yet, but it's a high risk one because it's children and you have to deal with the COPPA ruling, which is a lawsuit YouTube lost. They had to pay $300 million to the US government, etc. Here, female fashion, women's clothing for women. That is the correct answer. And it's a very simple answer. You want to make sure that it's female related. However, I'm not a female, I'm a male. So what other things can we do and upload? Here we have watches. That's a very good idea. Accessories. That's a really good idea. Women always wear accessories. Do you ever see a woman without an accessory? No. So that's a good one. Cars. You would have to focus on a different kind of niche. Cars, you can do lost mechanic stuff. As an example right here, you have forgotten American skills. You could do something like forgotten car skills. That is a very unique band, so that could actually work. Of course, there are already a lot of channels that talk about how you optimize XYZ within your car, but it is a unique way of introducing the content, so that's a very good idea. Good job. Seems like a lot of people are starting to understand this. Here we have digestive report. Mormon stockpile secrets, meats that never expire. Pretty much the same thing where this is very popular in is in the Amish niche, or any food related stuff. But who eats food? I know sounds like a super stupid question, but who eats food? Be creative. Give me all the answers you can come up with. Who eats food? Billionaire clothing, too specific, won't work. Shoes can definitely work. Actually, where Wien succeeded. Human being, pets. Dogs, cats, pets, exactly. Fat people, says Erwin. Next one. Not the one that I meant, but that's a fun one. Yeah, okay. Vegans. Technically speaking, you could do vegans. Five foods vegans can eat that replace meat, etc. That could work. I don't know if the market for that would be big enough on YouTube, but I think if you add a little bit of clickbait stuff, it could definitely work. Same for seniors. By the way, if I hear anyone's microphone, then I will kick you just out. Just letting you know. I'm not going to have anything with that. Same if you draw. Just let me be able to present. That would be nice. 10 foods obese people would eat. Avoid them, lol. Yeah, this would work. 10 foods only obese people eat. Avoid at all costs. And then talk about like sunflower oil and like those kind of things. That would definitely work. And there's also sport version. You could talk about the good proteins, the bad proteins, good creatines, good supplements. You can't do that, however, with an AI avatar. You need to have a doctor's certificate if you do so. So it's better to actually have a human being present than a fake AI avatar, because we will be looking at stuff like that as well. Hunt meat, seniors, animals. Yeah, so here my big idea indeed is animals. So how can you do like 20 animal foods that are good for dogs that would surprise you? I have no idea in this case. There's a disclaimer, I have no idea. Just letting you know, since I will be putting this up also on YouTube. But it could be, as an example, what's good for dogs? Raw eggs. So that's a simple one. And what is bad for dogs? Well, chocolate. You're going to kill them. So we don't want that. So that's the difference. Then there's still high quality YouTube automation and branded thing. I'll very quickly cover both of them at once. high quality YouTube automation pretty much means that the cost of production is going to go up a lot, and pretty much anything and everything in the process involves a human being. The voiceover is human, the scripts are human, anything within the channel is done by a human. One of the good channels right here that I very much like is Animated History, which is actually a channel of two of our students, which is Asels and Zozek. And they have gotten some phenomenal results. They actually got paid over $4,000 with the recent brand deal, actually both of them. Based on the views, probably now $4,500 on both, which is a phenomenal result. And that's within just 9 videos. 9 videos, 27,500 subscribers. And this is someone that we coached. However, for this, you have to understand, yes, you upload less. So technically speaking, the monthly cost is not too expensive. However, every single video you see right here is between 350 euros and 500 euros. It depends a little bit on the duration. 21 minutes, of course, is cheaper than 32 minutes. So that's the important part, and also a different price class than 11 minutes. And you can also see, based on the average views, that the sweet spot is going to be anywhere from around 25 minutes to 35 minutes. Is going to be the sweet spot of the channel. That's what we see. And that's pretty much it. Here also you can see 600,000 views, 851,000 views, and 400,000 views. So that's it. Once again, please don't draw. Don't be childish. That's it. So that's pretty much the thing with here. You're going to get more of a human person involved in this process. Then here on the right side, we get the really high quality branded ones. So Atrium and Historical, like you see a logo or you see a thumbnail that has this drawing style, you know, I'm about to watch this video. The same goes for Atrium. He pretty much developed this style that got very popular in the 2D, 3D animation space. It got popular, and that's it. And then on the bottom, we have Explore With Us, which is actually one of the biggest YouTube automation channels in the world, which is actually a body cam channel. And if we see this, it's going to be very simple. And we can see they are not posting a lot anymore, but they have very exclusive content. I spoke not with this owner, but an owner of another really large body cam channel, and they spend somewhere from $5,000 to $10,000 per video that goes online. And you think, okay, well, that's a crazy amount of money. But it's not a crazy amount of money if every single one of your videos gets 3 million views to 10 million views a pop. Every single one of them. Here, 41 million views in 10 months. And in that case, that means that for a 40-minute video with around 49 minutes of duration with a 70% AVD, that's probably going to be around a $15 to $20 RPM. That means that this video alone has earned them anywhere from $600,000 to $800,000. Once again, all with a faceless team and pretty much no face behind it. And that is the great part of this channel. So those are the 5 ways you can get started with YouTube automation. I'm not going to do the whole pitch thing of the course and program. That's not what I'm here for today. I'm here just to teach you. So 5 ways of doing YouTube automation. Sleep channels, traditional YouTube automation, VidRush, higher quality YouTube automation, branded. So how much money do you need in order to get started with YouTube automation? My recommendation right now, as how the YouTube market moves, how high the RPMs are, is, if possible, get started with VidRush. So how much is VidRush? VidRush is $640 per month. That pretty much allows you to launch 1/2 channels. You can do 10-minute to 20-minute videos, and you can post on 2 channels 3 times a week. 20 videos, that's it. Then you're through your credits, which actually isn't a lot because you need a lot of volume in order to test. And this is going to be super, super, super important. Then the next subscription is $1,700 a month. Of course, that's more expensive and you need more capital to build up. However, that's not where you need to get started. So what do we see right now a lot within our coaching program? That's number 1. People get started on the $640 a month subscription. Once they run through that, you found your niche, you found your channel, you went live, you found the team members, and then you scale up. So that cost isn't there immediately. And of course, once the channel starts making money, a lot of people have less issues investing more because it shows that it works. However, VidRush, of course, starting at $640 a month might be a little bit more expensive. But still, it is a very, very good base ground, and it's what I would recommend everyone. It's now also the first module pretty much within the program, because this is what I would do if I were starting from zero, meaning that I only got some money saved up. I don't know, I work at McDonald's, I work at AHA, or the Appie, as we say in Dutch, and that's it. I do that, I get that money, I would invest it into VidRush. Then traditional YouTube automation, if that's too expensive for you and you would like to only upload, let's say 3 times a week, you can also try and see if you can spend like $20 all the way up to $50 per video. However, you are going to spend more time, in this case, finding the team members. It means that with VidRush, based on the new method that we have, we can launch a channel from 0 to live in 6 hours. That's it. Within 6 hours, you can officially have your very first video up on YouTube. This has never existed before. And that is what shows the power of pretty much AI. Without AI, everything was traditional YouTube automation. The people that were in my old WhatsApp community, they know when I started coaching in 2021, there was no VidRush, there was no Claude with NexLev MCP, so we can find profitable channels. So first we have to understand this. These are the ways that we can get started. And we will actually cover all of this by finding profitable niches. Now, I will go ahead and actually find a quick freebie / information that I have, and I will send it to pretty much every one of you. Let me go ahead and look back at that. So pretty much there is a prompt that we have developed that is 9 pages long. We release it as a freebie, but it's still something that we use ourselves a lot. It is the simplest copy-paste prompt that you will go ahead and find. I'm just trying to find it back. I think it's here in the freebie list. It asks me to log in always. Should be able to bypass that in 2 clicks. I think it's going to be this one. Let me check Faceless channel dashboard. I think it might be this one then. Let me just go ahead and do that. And then I will do this and see if it works. And I got the prompt. Yes, I do. Perfect. We can go back to sharing my screen. Okay, now thanks for helping. You linked it in the chat. I will also link it in the WhatsApp after. And that's pretty much what we have here. We have here the freebie. And once again, I will send this to you. Everyone has already submitted their email to be here, or they're already part of the program. So I'll just send the link so you have access to this prompt. And this prompt is pretty much 9 pages long, and it's a very powerful prompt. But in order for this prompt to work is that we need to have the NexLev MCP installed. Now, if you can actually pull up the affiliate link and send that in the chat, that would be wonderful in this case. So you would need to make an account at NexLev, and we will send you the link to that. I can also just copy paste the link. You can just already make the account here. You get a 20% discount. I'll just send that a few times. That's pretty much it. You can make an account here, and you need the basic subscription, which if correctly is $12 a month, and then with 20% discount, it's going to be under $10 a month. And then you want to go to Claude, Settings, Connectors, and Add Custom Connector. And then you want to pretty much fill this one in, the URL part. So you want to go ahead and pretty much go and copy this. So what we do is we do the following. Let me just check whatever I have open on Claude, make sure I have a new chat. And then I'll talk about some other things while it is loading, and I'll pull up the old document that we have. Okay, we got everything here. So pretty much, yes, we've developed a 9-page long prompt, which is everything you see right here. So pretty much I should be able to Command A, Command C, and then we copy the entire pretty much prompt. Now we go to Claude and we're going to insert this prompt. However, before we go ahead and click on continue, you need to make sure you have the following working. You need to go ahead and be able to click on the plus sign, click on connectors, and you need to have the NexLev connector enabled. If you don't have it, you can go to add connector, and then you can, oh, sorry, you need to have the other one. They made it very confusing. Connector, manage connectors. And here you want to click on the plus sign, and here you want to click on add custom connector. Then you just have to name NexLev, and then here you have the URL. Oh, that's the prompt. The URL you just saw in this document. You can go ahead and follow the steps right now on the call. Please go ahead and do this. If you have the account already, if you don't have the account, you can do it after the call. If you want to go ahead and copy paste this URL pretty much in this box, and you want to click on add. Once you've that added, as you can see here, it will say added, and then you see pretty much all the permissions that it has on Claude. I highly recommend using this with Claude. I do not recommend using this with ChatGPT. It is just 10 times better. Then here we pretty much go ahead and copy paste this prompt. There's nothing else we have to say. The only thing we can say is please execute pasted text. If you want to say something, you can say that. In this case, I would use the highest model for getting this dashboard because this is where the research is based upon. So we'll go ahead and pretty much click on enter. And in this case, since it is a ridiculously long prompt, it is going to take around 10 to 20 minutes for this prompt to be completed. So I'll actually go ahead and show you what we're going to do in the meantime. As you can see, it now will go ahead and find YouTube channels. And within NexLev, there's over 10 plus million YouTube channels it can go ahead and run through. And as you can see here, we actually have the prompt divided into multiple divisions. And the easiest way is not exactly explaining this through Claude, but it is explaining this through the dashboard and understanding the psychology behind building a great prompt. Please go ahead and write that all down. So number one, install NexLev MCP together with Claude. Anything and everything you do on YouTube, you want to use Claude. It is the best way to build tools. You can build it in projects. You can build it in Claude Code. Within Claude Code, this prompt that I've sent you, you can even automate this process, pretty much sending it directly to you on the platform that you have connected. Now, in this case, I do have to say for that, the only thing you have to do for that is you need to go ahead and paste in the text that we have, the 9-page prompt, and pretty much ask Claude, hey, Claude, I want this to be redirected to here. People really need to learn to mute themselves. So that's pretty much that. So if you ask it where to redirect it to, this is different for every person. This doesn't work copy-pasted. Not everyone has the same Slack name with the same Slack chat. That doesn't exist. If you want these messages to arrive into your Discord community, make sure your Discord community is linked. Make sure it has permission to make messages in Discord. Make sure it has the permission to share a certain code, because what we're building is called a HTML file. And pretty much if we have that, then it's done. Okay, well, in this case, I'm done. In this case, going ahead and having to mute the same person I just muted, you're gone. That's it. Then let's go ahead and look at how such a document looks like. And I'll actually pull up the pretty much recent one that I have. And I'll
Can I ask you something?
Yes, quickly.
What's the difference between the two prompts? Because I think you showed recently the 9 pages prompt, for the HTML.
Yeah.
But you remember before you also shared another one.
Yeah, it
for
was
the
more
NexLev
simple.
MCP.
For NexLev MCP, right now I would just still recommend the same one, and based on what kind of channels you run, you can adjust the prompt to your own liking. So that's the thing. You don't want to outsource all your creativity and your thinking capability to me. You want to think in your own strategy. If you want to find channels that only have to do with the finance space or only has to do with YouTube automation, then just take that prompt and say, hey, listen, any person that has ever mentioned YouTube automation, filter them for me. Give me their combined views, give me their ratio, give me their outliers, and showcase to me what is best. So once again, it depends on what you want. And this is where prompting skills are so valuable. There's companies paying $700,000 a year for people who can prompt well. And there's a reason for that, is that you can get so much information in such easy resources and have it scout through the internet. That's why a lot of people and a lot of companies were afraid of OpenClaw. So right now, I would use this as a base prompt and then redefine it further how you want. If you want to find more VidRush channels, then skip the sleep stuff, skip the filter stuff. If you only want to find 10 channels or 10 IDs within a certain time frame, adjust it. This is just a base generic prompt, and it goes based on your strategy, what you want. As an example, my strategy, what I would recommend people as the first basis is VidRush. Why? VidRush gives you very quick results. That's pretty much that. We've seen people get monetized within 1 week of coaching. That quickly. They get started, they upload a video, the video gets the watch hours within pretty much 3, 4, 5 days. They apply for monetization, they have monetization within 7 days. Is this a realistic expectation if you join our coaching program? Absolutely not. You have to have already some sort of understanding of Claude and of the things that I'm teaching here. But if you watched all the videos, then you will already be able to understand this. So as an example, I had someone that was very skeptical of joining a coaching program, actually paying money for something like this. And he watched 18 hours of my content. He literally showed me that he has watched every single video I put on YouTube. First of all, that shows me that someone is very dedicated. And number two, they already have such a good base foundation of knowledge that they can grow further from there. The same goes for one of the results I recently shared of a student getting $2,500 a day, where they joined our school community. They were living in India, making $700 a month. They reinvested all of that money while they were living at their parents, and now they're doing $2,500 a day. So anything and everything is possible from any country in the world as long as you have a little bit of money to invest from here. That's pretty much the base foundation point, which is phenomenal. I also see some questions about AI avatars. We'll talk about that as well. And that's also, Jermaine, you will see me go ahead and actually change the way that the prompting works. Now, there's also another program which is called, they also have an MCP, which is Allgrow MCP. I haven't been able to install it yet, but it can also find digital products. And that's also one thing we will talk about. And it's also the new thing that is pretty much launched on YouTube that is now getting very popular. It is so early in shoes that I personally haven't even really got started with it. We now hired a product developer who's going to make ebooks for us, but also websites for us, and really optimize for conversion and understanding the money that the audience has available. That's pretty much something that we're working on. And we can adjust the prompts to that. And let me see if it's already
Is
a
the
little bit
last one in the
further.
course already?
Which one?
The last prompt is not in the course yet, right?
No, everything is in the course. It's like updated 90%. The last 10% I still have to finish, but it's minor details. There's nothing major. As an example, there's like N8N workflows that we haven't covered yet. That video just takes longer to make, explain, and also has to do with the risk. So as an example, sleep channels based on AI images and having that 100% automated is just a higher risk thing. So it hasn't have my highest priority to go ahead and post something that is risky for people to do. I advise based on what I would do, and that can change over time. And right now, what I would do is, if you have the money, is invest in VidRush, or if you can't afford it, go for traditional YouTube automation, get that successful, and then later you can always look into more risky niches. The same as example with the question we got today in the Discord server, which is like the Reddit channels. Like, it's very cheap to make some Minecraft footage or buy some Minecraft footage and upload some Reddit stories. But if it's templated and it's always the same content, you're going to get hit with reused content. You're going to get denied for monetization. The same as example with the female story spam. There's a channel right now doing 20 million views a month, probably doing 200K a month, and it uploads 3 times a day, almost the identical video with the same sort of stock footage, the same sort of AI stories, AI voice, where nothing within that content is actually unique, and that causes for issues. And my main goal is here to avoid issues, because how would you feel if you get a channel to 10K a month, you invested all the money, and then after 2 months, you actually don't get paid out? YouTube says, no, Jermaine, we don't like this. We're going to keep your money because you didn't hold up to the YouTube terms of service. And technically speaking, you're never allowed to start another YouTube channel again. How would you feel if YouTube says that and then you paid for coaching?
Fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. So hence the reason I'm not teaching you that. Because I know all the gray head things. I know how to upload movies on YouTube without getting copyrighted. I know it. I can do it. I've done the political stuff. I've scaled it to 30,000 a day. It got taken down. So there's no point in doing that. And any guru or any coach that built their success or their main success story up on political content, anyone can do that. If you have $5,000, and I swear to you, if you're going to upload political content in the correct way, you are going to hit a $30,000 a month. The question is just, are you ever going to see the money? That's the thing. So hence the reason I'm not teaching you that. Because there's no point in going up and playing with feelings. It's like, oh, and then it's like shit, and then it's like, and then... Like, we don't want that. Hence the reason we're not teaching that. Let me go ahead and show the dashboard, and I'll give you the breakdown. No worries. I'm happy to help and happy to explain further. Like, I took out 2 hours for this session, so we still have an hour and 15 minutes. So this is pretty much the old Faceless channel dashboard. As you can see here, this is the 6th of June. It's now the 18th of June. So please realize this is now 12 days old. Right now, like I said, this is just a prompt. That's a 9-page prompt. We pasted it in, and as you can see here, it's loading, and I will show this later during the session. But meanwhile, I can go ahead and explain to you the breakdown of how it works, and also where Jermaine just asked the question is, how can you specify the content that you're looking for? So number one, we have niche. If you're good at a specific niche, you can go ahead and pretty much filter that. You can also go ahead and see history, health. So there's a lot of things that we can go ahead and look at. So how do we actually come up with designing this dashboard? That's the important part. Number one, we want to track channels. In this case, 170. You can also ask for 200. You can also ask for 1,000. It won't allow you to do 1,000 at one time. You just have to do it over multiple days, because I think the limit on NexLev Pro subscription is like 300 a day. So you have to do it over multiple days. Here, the estimated revenue. That's the only thing I want everyone to ignore. The RPM estimates that NexLev gives are bullshit. That's the only thing that is not good of the program, but it's also really hard to dedicate because you have to understand where the audience is from, what the purchasing power of that audience is, and which age demographic you're hitting. And then, of course, the duration of the video, the average video length in this case. Not the average video length of the entire channel. And that's also the way that I prompted. So we've prompted into VidRush section. And here we have the new and proven one, but we also have a bend pool. And the bend pool is pretty much the niche bending idea, what we just played on the Miro board. You remember, everyone? We did niche bending, and niche bending is pretty much going from the American skill part to, hey, we can do Canadian skills, Australian skills. We can do forgotten American weapons, forgotten World War II weapons. We can do jewelry. We can do handbags. We can do shoes. We can do designer stuff, female fashion. We can do cat food, dog food, fitness food. There's so many band ideas. So pretty much we want, in this case, Claude to assist us in coming up with new ideas. Like, I can be very creative. There's almost nothing that I can't go ahead and come up with some sort of niche band or some sort of idea of getting more out of the same audience. Like, it's really simple. And there's also what is called niche blending. Niche blending is my own term. Tim made the term niche bending. It used to be called close versus far niching. But with all respect, that's just marketing, you know? Hey, I found a new strategy on YouTube. It's called niche bending, which used to be called close versus far niching. To give you a very example of close versus far niching, close niching means doing almost something identical and the same. Far niching means that taking a concept that works and completely putting it somewhere else. So if you think of close niching, what would you think of transforming this part? What is really close related to basketball? Give me something. Like, just write it in the chat. It's really, really, really simple. Football, softball. Yeah, if you're a girl, you would say softball. Football, soccer, exactly. Tennis, yep. That's it. That is what is called close niching. The World Cup right now, yep. Formula 1, yep, exactly. This format, I don't think this exact format is actually being done, Formula 1, Sophie. That's actually a good channel ID. Not to my knowledge, at least. I have no idea what rugby is. Or rugby, but maybe write differently. Or spelled differently. Sports with contact. Okay, so now we have that one. Now, the interesting one is, now let's do far niching. Let's see how many people can get this one correctly. What would be a far niche? Chess is relatively far. Same format works in chess, by the way. The owner of one of those largest channels, I think it's called Chessly. It's actually Fedona's. It's a very good friend of mine. No, not badminton. Now we're doing far niching. I'm curious who can get this correctly. Car sports is the same as Formula 1. Chess gets close, but we want to pretty much take the same concept and put it very far. Yeah, Leo already wrote it correctly. Esports game. Exactly. Digital games. People forget that, as an example, Faker is just as famous as, like, well, not as famous as Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, but it's like the most famous person in the digital e-world, in digital games. And people with digital games, they spend a lot of money. You know how much these micro apps make? Like Raid Shadow Legends, which you always see in the fucking YouTube advertisements. Like, they advertise so much because they have a lot of money budgets to spend behind it. And that's the reason they do this stuff. So far niching is really getting this into chess, into esports. The same concept, most brutal fools in NBA history. If you wanted to go very far niche, what do you think about most brutal Peter Griffin moments? Taking that concept and making it 100% unique. Designing my own face into a Family Guy character that then talks about how Peter Griffin does that. There's also channels that did like how long every cartoon character would go to jail for. Like all the illegal things Peter did, and then eventually he gets 2,200 years of jail time on every felony that he's done, everything that's illegal, like all of those things compelled. And that's how you can go very far. I see a very quick question here of Latifa, who asked, what do you think of motivational channels? I think they're garbage. And that has to do that a lot of the motivation content of the famous people's licensed. Actually, one of the consulting networks that we work with also spoke to that person today. The owner of that network is called Brendan. He has a motivation app. He also has his own YouTube CMS. And as an example, David Goggins, Joe Rogan, and a few other people, they're all signed to him as like motivational content. Part. So if you upload motivation content, talking or pretty much taking clips from other people, you will get copyright claims, which means you don't make money. Food Theory done that for brand mascot. Yeah, exactly. What about conspiracy? Conspiracy could be very good. You manage 40 plus channels. How are you doing that without getting YouTube spam or getting blocked? And YouTube CMS. And YouTube CMS bypasses the, not, I wouldn't say bypasses the rules, but it removes the connection to the channel owner completely, since the CMS would own the YouTube channel. That's it. Stickman explainers, still good if you animate it. I actually have that video pulled up, I think somewhere here. No. Check. It's this one? No, that's not this one. It's not that one either. Wait, I had it somewhere. I wanted to talk about the digital products, but this is not that part. Where is that? I had one of them. Isn't it here? Like, doesn't it load? Could check, but I think I'm gonna lose it now. It won't show. No, it won't show in this case. Here is an example, political content. This is what I mean. The Russians are coming, Putin's warships around the UK. This is complete hocus pocus fake news. Here, 300K in the day. Like, this will make a lot of money, but in this case, you are going to get terminated, 100%. For sure, if there's no face behind it. There's an actual face behind it, you have a little bit more chance, but this is pure garbage. I don't know what Mr. Stretch is, Michael. I have no idea what you're talking about in this case specific. I see a lot of questions. Once again, I'll get to the questions in a second. I want to go ahead and explain the dashboard. On the end, I can do the channel stuff. Lucas says, I got hit on my inauthentic content on my sleep channel. Do I need to start over with a new Gmail, new AdSense? Yes, and you need to use a residential proxy or you need to use a YouTube CMS. That's the only two ways to avoid the rule of related channels. I also pull up an image on related channels so you understand how YouTube system works. Once again, that's very, very, very advanced stuff. Hence the reason I want to go ahead and first explain the basics, get you success, and then we worry about the logistics, okay? Anyone that is asking CMS questions that is not making $10,000 a month, please stop asking your questions. You haven't reached that goal yet where this becomes relevant for you. You probably watch too much Twitter and don't work enough. That's 9 out of 10 times the thing that happens here. So the reason that we have this toggle box is that we can see the recent videos. So here we know this is AI storytelling. This is exactly what will get you hit with inauthentic content. It might be monetized for now, but it won't be monetized for always. Here we have Forgotten American Weapons, talking about the history of weapons. So if we find this channel interesting, where we can see the average video length here, 31 minutes, and he shot it just 53 days ago. So now I found an interesting channel, Forgotten American Weapons. So how can I come up with a unique ID to, no, don't copy. I don't want to just do, I don't know, Forgotten American knives as an example, and only make videos about knives. I wouldn't do that. Or you can do Forgotten Cowboy Weapons and only talk about the Wild West. That is possible, and those niches you need testing. So how long do you need to test something like this for? My suggestion for VidRush content is 10 to 15 videos, since the cost is very expensive, and normally after that time you should see more traction. What we personally do, once again, I have pretty much unlimited money to go ahead and test videos. I mean, like, you can't spend 100K a month on VidRush. Let's just be honest. Like, I don't have that scalability to do that either. I'm going to be completely honest and transparent about that. Otherwise, I would be doing $1 million a month, and I don't. So here, what I would test is Wild West weapons. I would test Forgotten Wild West weapons, Forgotten World War II weapons, Forgotten Cold War weapons. And that's how I would come up with unique IDs. Once again, you see that I'm not using Claude. You see that this comes natural to me. That's why you need to write these things down. How can I go ahead and come up with a new concept? And then you will see these little dots. And once you see the dots, you start connecting everything. And that is the difference in someone who gets lucky and makes 10K months or 5K months between people who consistently do $30,000 to $100,000 a month. That is the biggest difference. And that's the reason why, in this case, this channel owner, his name is Koen. I actually see him tomorrow in Utrecht. We have a mutual event that we're going to. He's making over $100,000 a month. Well, a year ago, he actually came into one of our podcasts. He was making $30,000 a month. Why? Well, in this case, together with a YouTube CMS, because he was already making $30,000 a month. We scaled him up. We gave him the resources in order to go ahead and scale to $100,000 a month. And now he's also introducing the ebooks, the e-guides, and he's making a lot more money. And that's pretty much the next thing. Can you make products about weapons? Well, that's going to be a little bit harder part, because most likely you're promoting weapons, and that's going to be against YouTube terms of service. So I wouldn't recommend that for this channel in specific. So if your goal is to make money on YouTube and off YouTube, we're going to get into digital products once I finish explaining this dashboard. So this is how I come up with a niche ID. As an example, I can scroll further. Here we have the Obsidian Vault, and here we pretty much have fantasy stuff. And now we get into a interesting topic. On YouTube, it is not forbidden to talk about conspiracy or things that haven't happened. However, YouTube is not the biggest fan of it. And in this case, we're talking exactly, in this case, about Sumerian stuff. I think there's also the Nigerian Bible, and there's also Tartarian. Tartarian is like the secret society that lives beyond the ice wall, and that's pretty much where the Rothschilds and Rockefellers are all pretty much behind. Those channels are what we call pretty much fantasy content, because you can find some content that's backed up it, but not scientific studies. YouTube, in this case, anything you do left wing, it's always fine. Anything you do extreme right wing, you can get into issues. The platforms have a very democratic stand on YouTube, so please be aware of that. Here, forgotten American skills. Here, as an example, we see a video talking about farm skills. Forgotten farm skills. Now we can make a separate channel. We already see this video with 780,000 views. So this concept is already proven to work. Hence the reason this is how you can come up with the most simple spin-offs. Now I can go ahead and teach you in depth also on how to spot what is called VidRush channels. I can tell you this one is made with AI, VO3 and images. These three, they're all made with VidRush. Hence the reason that I'm promoting VidRush. Also, what does it say here? I'm trying to specifically target VidRush channels, which is what you will find back in that 9-page prompt. You have to go ahead and insert and pretty much go through that document and understand what exactly am I prompting. I can go through it very quickly. Here you see niche band IDs. These are the rules. As an example, I can make this part better. How do I make it better? Well, I upload the whole document. I upload this specific text. And I say, based on the prompt, I want you to go ahead and adjust this to these IDs. I can make a list in which I talk about, hey, forgotten American weapons. We can change that to Cold War weapons, Wild West weapons, etc. If I give it 4 or 5 examples like this, and we'll go from America to Canada, Australia, Japan, etc., it will come up with a lot more specific niche band IDs. Hence the reason it's very important that every resource I make, everything that I teach, is you understand why do I teach it. What is the thought process behind it? How can it be that for the last 6 years, I've pretty much always been a step ahead? The only thing I haven't really been a step ahead in, 100% transparency here, is selling digital e-guides. It is not something that I focus on or something that I very much thought of that could be very easy to promote. And then we're going to get into some interesting parts, which is going to happen in a second, pretty much in the second hour of the course or the live video, whatever you want to say. Here we have health stuff. Health stuff is always a little bit tricky. If you do this without an AI character or AI avatar or a person, you're going to be fine. If not, you're going to take risk. Why? You don't have a medical degree. You are in no position to talk about what is healthy and not healthy, which can cause termination, so be aware of that. Here you have forgotten frugal America, so these are money-making tricks. Amish money-making secrets, Italian money tricks, husbands had no clue, probably immigrant, yeah, here, immigrant, Italian immigrant families used to survive in America, etc. Let's go further, new cosmic stuff. Here we see something interesting. We see a very new sort of thumbnail style. Whenever you see a thumbnail style, think of this. Can you apply this to your niche? If yes, then good. If no, then no. I'll give an example of this one. So this thumbnail style looks very nice. So we can go as an example to my channel called the Snoozetorian. And I personally think we will probably do this thumbnail style as what we have for the memberships. That's also one way on the Snoozetorian we're looking to make more money is to introduce brand stuff. What the fuck am I saying? To introduce memberships. And for the membership ones, we will upload once or twice a week an 8-hour episode. And on the 8-hour episode, we will actually not run mid-roll ads, which means people pay to not see ads, which is completely fine. It's sort of like a YouTube premium within YouTube, which is going to help the channel grow further. It's going to increase the watch time on a very loyal audience. And as you can see, this thumbnail style is relatively the same, which can be considered templated. And that's also the reason, if we scroll further down, you will actually see my lovely face one more time, which is actually the Q&A video that I made, the truth about the Snoozetorian 50,000 subscriber mark, just to throw off the pattern. And then with the memberships, we can actually use this thumbnail style and pretty much say 8 hours of history, or 8-hour 1950 history to fall asleep to. And then we can do like all of the 1950 stuff, like a cafe, the bars, the retro stuff. We can do all of this in the thumbnail. As an example, I find that a good idea. I'll screenshot this. Probably takes like 5 seconds. 5 seconds to load. And I'll actually put that into my downloads. And after this call, I'll send that to my manager to go ahead and have a look at. And this is how we can keep scrolling. Here we have new stuff. Hey, look at that. Russia just fired 8 unstoppable missiles at Kiev, and not one was shot down. So this is talking about political stuff, new stuff here, 25 days ago. Jermaine, you see what I mean, by the way? Right here, exactly what I said with the new stuff. We open this. Let's see if we can play the video. Oh no, this channel is terminated. How come? You're making fake news about Russia. Aha. See, and that's exactly the reason that I don't recommend this to students. That's why I specifically say avoid this stuff at any and all cost. Like this didn't happen a couple days ago. Here, 25 days ago. In this case, this is 12 days old. It took 37 days for them to get terminated. Which means, in this case, they got 600,000 views, probably a little bit more, probably closer to 1 million, with a $10 RPM, is they missed $10,000. Exactly what I said. So you see what happens here? Now they spent all their money, maybe even on coaching. They got terminated, and then they got nothing. Well, how would you feel that? Then I would feel scammed. You know, if you get coaching and it doesn't work out, but you learn something, at least you didn't get scammed. But in this case, if you go into something that is 100% wrong against the terms of service, that shouldn't be taught,
Like what?
then it's a scam in my opinion. So be careful with that. Below here, we see sleep channels. Here we actually have the Snoozetorian's dated channel, which is kind of a bit like my channels. So here you see a lot of channels as well. In this case, we can see the length of the videos and also the band pool. Once again, here we actually have a Reddit channel. And here we see like all the different channels. So here it uploads like not very long content. So here there's something wrong in the prompt. Here's Sleepy UK history. I actually know how much this channel makes. The average video length is 135 minutes. It's not 106 days ago. Okay, Sleepy Canadian history, Sleepy Australian history. You know, you can make these videos for ridiculously cheap. So this is one way you can go ahead and grow. Midnight Casebook. This is also very simple image content. So we can go ahead and look at the content, see if it's still monetized, see if everything is fine, and see how the content is built up. And these are the exact things that, of course, we teach in the course. Like I can't summarize 32 hours of content into a 2-hour meeting. So I'll actually mute the sound and we just watch this. So as an example, here nothing happens. It has a intro animation and it's just text to speech the whole time talking about a case. So this is exactly what YouTube warns for inauthentic content. If we go to the channel, we'll probably see that this channel is no longer monetized. Because once again, this is exactly what YouTube warns for. There's nothing creative about this. Hence the reason that we'd rather promote VidRush, or in this case with the Snoozetorian, we use about 100 images. We have a couple minutes of video footage. We're doing behind the scene videos. We're going to make unique thumbnails for the channel memberships. And that is how my channel is monetized. It's also in a CMS under a managed network, which also protects us against automatic demonetization, which is another thing that is very interesting. As you can see here, the format worked great. The thing is just, are you going to hit your payout? Most likely, no. Also, spamming stuff in your channel description is also against the description terms of service. For people that didn't know, YouTube actually introduced this in June, a couple days ago, or May, where if your description isn't up to terms of service, they will actually just remove the entire channel description function. Doesn't give you a community warning, as at least what they told in the community stuff, but that's pretty much that. So here we want to skip that channel. We want to see what is interesting. Here we have a channel called Cosmo Explains. Here, 131 minutes. It's 105 days old, 462,000 views. And here we actually have a very interesting format. Now I actually found it as a channel of a student again. So as you can see, and this is also something very important, I just quickly want to touch base on also for old students and for new students that I find important, is that, of course, with all of these tools with Claude, I can no longer pretty much try and exempt any channels. So if I see your channel in public, I will just say it's a student's channel. Like everyone here, if you install the NexLev MCP and you put in that prompt, you're going to have the exact same data that I just got. So it doesn't matter if I tell it yes or no. Like I can't say, oh, don't include this channel, don't include this channel, don't include this channel. It's not possible anymore with 2,000 students and 150,000 followers across social media. It's just no longer possible. It doesn't mean that I specifically pull up your channel and talk about it, unless you, of course, request me to do so. But 9 out of 10 times, that's not the case. So here, we actually have something which is relatively interesting. Here we have some particles moving, but you see what they did here? They actually added in a green screen. And what I also said, like, it's really nice because it makes the content a little bit more unique. But if you want to make this even more unique and even safer for the YouTube terms of service and the YouTube partner program, is actually if we go to here and we go to the more recent videos, you see they have a channel intro, exactly what we asked them to do. And here, 8,000 views, here, 2,000 views, 2,000 views. But guess what? The RPM is like $30. 9,000 views, that's like times 30. Fucking 9 times 3, 2,700. So here you can actually see that the character for the beginning is also moving. And we did this so that every video looks transformative. You see, he's like sort of talking and moving and probably like doing a little bit of the intro stuff. He might just turn his chair around at one point, or it's just a repeat. So now
It's
there's actually...
VidRush.
No, this is not VidRush. This is actually built from scratch. So, as an example, we have actually channels similar to this. The image is created in ChatGPT. You just always need to have a big window. And in the big window is where you put the B-roll. So it actually includes more manual process, but it makes the sleep channels a lot more safe. And that's what I mean. Like this stuff, I didn't say this stuff on Instagram. I didn't say this stuff as an example on Twitter. This is the shit that we teach within the paid coaching program. This is the exact reason that we do this stuff. And that's the reason why we always stay one step ahead. Because I already saw this. And the reason that this works, if you want to understand the psychology of how far I go personally, you guys have, like, this is not even stuff that we teach. So please, even if you're in the program, don't ask me questions about this. I'm not going to teach you. This is a whole different industry. But we'll go to jazz music. And I'm just going to pull up this cafe, Relax Jazz Cafe, which is actually also a client of ours. It's a Vietnamese client of the music industry that I visited in Hanoi. Or actually, this was not in Hanoi, this was in Vin City. Very cool company. But if we look at this content, and this is how we thought of animating this content. I don't know why YouTube is like, or my computer is so lagging. But I'll just pull this up for a second. Okay, can everyone see what's happening in the video? Or even better said, let's go to the chat and tell me what's happening in the video. Motion, pretty much correct, yeah. Very broad correct answer. Water, fireplace, looped, image animated, water moving. Yeah. Candles. Pretty much the thing is that this process here is pretty much 100% automated, but in parts. Static camera, moving objects, exactly. It is sort of animated. And because this is now animated, this content is considered safe. And that's because every image is unique. These flowers, those are probably preset or just image-based. Done in After Effects. The water, After Effects. The fireplace, probably copy-paste from a video that they have somewhere. Or from stock footage, just, adjusted, side-placed, After Effects. I know this because we have channels like this as well ourselves. Not very successful ones. I do have to be transparent in that. I'm not good in the music parts yet. I actually have coaching for the music parts. I want to get better in that. So I also reinvest back into myself because I think eventually I can scale up this music business part, also maybe to 50,000, 100,000, maybe 300,000 a month. Because music has a lot of scalability, not just on YouTube, but also Spotify, Apple Music, etc. So there's a lot of ways of cross-promoting these channels once they're successful. And this is a great example because of all these motions. And here, as an example, you see the smoke coming from the coffee, the fireplace, all the great details that you see here. Sometimes, often the plants are even moving. In this case, that's not happening. Here, the clouds in the background, they're even moving. So this is very unique content. And because we take that same concept, this is where we got the concept from. No one would ever think of that unless that I would specifically tell you this. And that's why you have the motion character. You have this moving here. In this case, there's one little mistake, and I will text him after the video. Here, I would have added the smoke. Add a little bit of smoke effect here. That's what I would have done. But already this animated in the background, this makes the video look very unique. Like, you don't necessarily need a lot more. And we have almost an identical channel to this. And this channel does very well right now. If you take a $30 RPM, you can see, bam, it's monetized. How come? Well, it's actually unique content. The thumbnails have different colors, has the same pattern. So it might be really good once this channel reaches 10,000 subscribers to do a channel explainer video. Don't ask me why this is happening. YouTube is very buggy recently. Here, 500,000 views times $30 RPM is going to be $15,000 a month. Those are real results from real students. And that's a great example. And how did we find that? We found that by literally copy-pasting the prompt I said. This is about science. Now be creative. Think, how can I steal this concept? Well, we can make sleep videos for history this way. Aha, there you go. That's a very simple niche band. Think further if you want more ideas. So once again, my goal here is to pretty much teach you on how to think. And if you see these things, and then you have the capacity and the work ethic to actually go ahead and do something with this, you're going to see phenomenal results. Like crazy results. Like every single person that I can have a good dinner with and talk about ideas are people doing pretty much over $30,000 all the way up to $200,000. Every single one of them. Here's Sleepy Australian History, same channel, 129 minutes every video length, started 4 months ago. There's a lot of World War II history you could do. Sleepy World War II history, there you go, 2-hour-long sleep history documentaries. What about D-Day? I don't know. What about the Nazi Germany invasion into Poland? I'm just saying some stuff, like, I don't know. What about the crucifixion of the Christians in Russia? All that stuff. There's all video topics you can make around channels like this. And just because I have a toggle box, I don't have to go and open every single YouTube channel. I want to be able to look on the document and see what I'm good at. I'm good at sleep channels. I see this. I see a very good average video length. I see 460,000 views. I multiply by 20 or by 30. In this case, science might be 20, not 30. 500,000 views times 20 is going to be $10,000 a month. That's really good money. Channel production costs, in this case, it's more animation a little bit. Probably takes a little bit more time. Probably, what will it be? Like $15, maybe 20-ish. Which means if they post daily, they spend 600, they make 10,000. Well, is that a good investment? Yes. It's digital assets. So here, as an example, a very good note that I haven't done yet, or told him about, is Spotify. He can make money on Spotify. And he's not promoting that. There's not even a community post like saying thank you to the subscribers, engaging with the audience, and that's going to be the next part. As an example, he already has a good channel. Now distributing that to Spotify further is going to increase earnings. I do not know if the Spotify terms of service allow showing the dashboards, so I'm not going to show it. You just have to take my word for it in this case. Right now, we're doing $150 to $200 a day on Spotify, which is another $5K a month. That is more than most people make with a 9-to-5 job. I'm making that from the exact same videos that I post on YouTube, on Spotify, on one page. And I have 8 of them. So that's now already growing into 5 figures, and there will probably be 20, 30,000-ish towards the end of, what is it? Not June, probably end of July, maybe end of the year, probably $30,000 plus months. And that's pretty much how we find this stuff. Here we have 4K Ocean stuff. For this, you need CMS. Seems like this video is also probably taken down, looks like it. Or it hasn't been processed well. The video is private, yeah. Okay, so it's not taken down. So here, as an example, you have more of the Vietnamese company things where they do like the aquarium videos. This is very high risk. You can't do this stuff and monetize it without a CMS unless you actually have like a full voiceover over the entire video. That's pretty much it because there's only music here. So those are the specific things that we see. You might see a channel like this and do it and think it's safe, and it's most likely not. Let's see how far Claude is. I think we're finished. Claude couldn't finish the response. Fuck off. Please don't.
A question
restart.
about the
Sure,
about
go for
the
it.
NexLev MCP.
Go for it.
Because I noticed that Claude is limited with his research, and I think it's because I don't have a subscription with the NexLev.
Yes, you need to have a subscription in order to get this. Correct. So you need to pay for that.
Okay, because I only have the how you call it? The subscription from $11 is the extension.
That should be there. But then that's something we can look at after. No problem.
Okay.
So yeah, this is pretty much how you find the stuff. In this case, I didn't go ahead and finish everything. Here, there's also philosophy, which is interesting. 15-minute average view duration. Also started 120 days ago. And also is over an hour long. So this could also work very well. And there's some more channels that are here. And here we pretty much have overflow, residual pool. So here we're going to get older channels, but still channels where we can see what kind of content they're uploading. And here we actually have factory content. Here's history of simple things. So we have all kinds of content here. Textify, which is more the text messages. It's tricky on YouTube, but you can see the views they're pulling is crazy. And that's just long form months, 4.8 million a month. Here's Snook.yt. Oh yeah, this is the one I mean with the stories. That's pulling like crazy views. This stuff often also doesn't get monetized. It's very templated content. It will be hit with inauthentic content. But now, let's go ahead and I'll let this one flow. And that's the reason I wanted to use the backup one, because often it breaks down or it takes a few tries. Let's go ahead over the new method of making money on YouTube. If you're ready, type ready in the chat and I'll get started. I actually don't have water here. So I'm just going to stretch my arms and we're going to go into how people are making more money on YouTube with selling digital products than they are with their actual YouTube channels. I do want to give a quick disclaimer. The two channels or the two people I will show you right now are not in our coaching program. That doesn't mean that our students are not already implying this. And I will show you that. Once again, Hassan, for the questions and stuff, I'll do that a little bit later. Umar, I'll do that later. Now I want to go ahead and explain this stuff. I will quickly show here the results. Here, a lot of results. I want to show this one quickly. So our students are already implementing this as of a couple of weeks ago. So here we got Claude, who actually got denied for monetization, decided to plug his digital product, which is now becoming a trend, hence the reason I'm also doing this live session, and created a bundle. Only one video promoting it, and he's making $150 a day. That is the power of digital products. So I do want to clarify, our students are already doing this. They're already on top of this. Me, myself, I'm not live yet because I want to build really high quality products so that my audience keeps being a fan of whatever I deliver. That is my goal. That's the reason why I don't have it myself yet. That is a progress in works. And I'll tell you which kind of channels you can best promote this on and how people are promoting this themselves. So let's go ahead and first head over to Goat. And he actually had a very good tweet a couple days ago, which is this tweet. And he's one of the biggest people now in the space as well. And as you can see here, he made $6,931 in sales and $4,000 from Google AdSense, which still means, by the way, he's building probably over 800,000 views a day across his channels, which means he made over $11,000 in a single day. Now, I do have to say, the reason if you wanted to check my YouTube video that I uploaded yesterday or the day before, yeah, it's a template product. All the channels are connected, Daniel. That's exactly what I will tell as well. Because they have multiple channels. And that's very smart because they're doubling down on content that's working. And that's exactly what I'm going to be teaching you now. So in this case, we also talked on WhatsApp. I actually, in my YouTube video, I mentioned the wrong person with the wrong channel. I mixed the Goat channel and David channel. Got a few comments about that. And I don't like if my content is inaccurate. So I made 100% sure that I don't have the mistake. And if I do, I'm truly sorry. But this should be correct. So this is the Goat, $6,931 in a single day. And then here we pretty much see his channel. And his channel is called Elias Yoder. And the reason that I know pretty much 100% certain that I got all the channels right is because he's collab posting it across all the channels. Hence the reason, based on the question we just got, is that all of these channels are connected. Elia Yoder, this is just Amish advice. Esther Yoder, it's a female person. Of course, females sell very well. They attract more female audience. And who spends more money? Females do. What do we men buy? We buy a car and a house and, I don't know, a PlayStation 5 and GTA 6, and that's pretty much it. What do women buy? Oh, mascara. Oh, gardening. Oh, this. Women always buy. So it's always very good to focus on a female audience if you can. Snoozetorian is 80% female audience. Why do you think we get paid over $33 per thousand views? That's why. So these are the channels. So how does this actually look? I need to make sure that I'm sharing my screen with the sound. Let me show you how this is being done.
It is a Saturday morning in early May. You walk into the garden center on the edge of town, past the bedding plants, past the tomato seedlings, past the rack of seed packets, you find yourself in the fertilizer aisle. The shelves are stacked 12 feet high with brightly...
And as you can see, he doesn't consistently show his face, but his face is AI. This is either made with Hayden or with Seedance, one of the two. You could probably use both of them, but it shows you how and what. It could even be VO3, by the way, as the quality isn't ultra sharp, but it looks very Amish. The background looks like someone who has a very simple life, and that's the goal. And in this case, what are they promoting? They are promoting eliasyoder.com, which is actually a website. Yes, YouTube wants you to go off website, which is this website. And they use the very traditional Shopify way of promoting things. The promo is going to end in 6 hours and you're going to lose out on a little bit of money. And this page and everything you see here, you can make with an individual Claude prompt. This is not hard. Just upload an image of the profile, which is the exact same face we now saw. Yeah, see, I want to go away. It's like, earn $47 back this month. This is a very good pop-up, by the way. I love the image, which is actually also on the thumbnail that we made. The drafts ceiling fix alone pays for the book inside of it. So pretty much he is teaching people on how to save money. And what does everyone like? Everyone likes to learn how to save more money and how to make more money. Hence the reason coaching offers where we teach people how to make more money on YouTube sells well. I'm not going to deny that. I'm completely honest and transparent in that. And as you can see right here, he's actually uploading a lot. He's uploading 2 times a day right now, it seems. Yeah. And you can see he's promoting a lot of products, a lot of tricks. Colder air. Well, right now it's fucking hot. It's 25 degrees. 25 degrees in this room. It is super hot. Well, if we scroll further, we see here, kill cockroaches fast with aluminum foil, simple and effective. So they have these simple videos, but they also have the product. Let's go ahead and look a little bit further at the product here. One book, 93 methods, $6,000 a year. So you can save $6,000 a year with this book. That is the goal. And it says like it's the same like price as like going to the hardware store. Here is the bundle. Here's everything that's sort of included. And it is $47 and that's it. Which, based on the Twitter results that we got right here, we know that this is performing very well. I didn't know that they actually mentioned soccer here. Cool. So they are promoting it very well. And that's exactly what we see here. Here, 154,000 views in 9 days. So by selling this book and promoting it in their videos, they can get a lot of sales. That doesn't take away that a lot of the tips of this stuff can be very good. Here, as an example, in the community post, hey guys, we have something important news. We officially launched our community that gives you direct access to me and my wife. And actually here they're promoting a school community. So you see how many different ways they are making money outside of YouTube. I'm not talking inside of YouTube, I'm talking outside of YouTube. So they're making money on their school community. They only did one post. Now with the video, and because there's a face connected to it, as an example in this case, Elias Yoder, sounds so funny if you know his real name, is that if he's promoting the product with a QR code to pretty much scan this stuff, then that's that. Then you can go ahead and make a lot of money on digital products. They could even do their bundle promotion stuff under community post. You can generate a very simple AI image and go ahead and promote that. That's the exact same thing that we do on the Snoozetorian. Here you can see 95 members are paying $9 a month. That is an extra $1,000 a month. There you go. Maybe have a community manager on there. 2 hours a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, costs you maybe $200, worst case scenario, but you have a profitable community. That's it. Just no one online either. So that's just pretty much free money in which there might be some videos teaching stuff about this. I would even do results and testimonials to make it even more trustworthy. That's what I would work towards. And then, of course, the digital products make a lot more money, but it doesn't mean that this couldn't be 1,000 members and this could be making like $9,000 a month. So it shows you that these digital products and the way of doing AI avatars is the way of the future. And there's a lot of different channels pretty much doing this. Oh yeah, this is, by the way,
according to the United States.
Now I see it. And here we have Elias Yoder Emish, still the same channel. Let me go ahead and do the collab post thing. So you can see 3 more, 3 more, 3 more. So we'll go ahead and click on that, and I'll show you something interesting. And immediately I'll show you a niche band ID that actually them.
It is a Saturday
David
morning in early May.
Covered yet. If we click on here, we see 3 channels. We see the female version, we see cooking, we see gardening. What is another thing Amish people are very good at? I'm curious if anyone knows, actually. Like, if you know a little bit of history. Like, I used to love history, so I understand a lot of parts about this. What is one thing Amish people love? Well, here we go. We already got the answer. Building, building. Exactly. Spamming me for the question doesn't matter, Hassan. I'm right now teaching something. I'll get to all the questions in the end. I won't skip a question, don't worry. Churning butter. That's a very specific one. I was looking for building. That should be the next guide. You can make the digital product. Amish building templates. Amish building materials. get the workshop template. Cooking, but cooking balloon, you need to pay attention. Here it says Amish cooking on my screen. You should be able to see my screen. So you see Amish cooking is already there, which can be its own cooking book, which is exactly what we're doing for some of our content. Amish Fish Health is monetizable. Yes, but in this case, I would put a disclaimer on for the first 2 seconds, because health stuff, you need to, technically speaking, have a degree. So you need to very clearly mention that you have to be careful with that. I do not know of Amish people being good in car repairs, but it probably might work. Can you one video how to create Scratch through VidRush? Yes, we will have that on our YouTube channel tomorrow. So I'll actually send that video over on how to make the VidRush videos from scratch. And it is actually already, a version of that is already on our YouTube channel. You just need to hire a scriptwriter either from onlinejobs.ph or upwork.com to go ahead and write the script for you. Amish Remedies, that's a really good book, by the way. Yeah, that is really good if you can combine it with health. Health stuff is just a little bit more risky part. Crime sleep stuff has nothing to do with what I'm explaining right now. I'll skip it for now. If Americans haven't done it, but Spanish have done it, crime plus sleep, then 100% go for it. But I know like 10 plus crime sleep channels out of my head. I'm not going to name them. A lot of them are students, but I know a lot of them. So Umar, you need to do further research. Why not using Claude to make scripts for VidRush? Well, that's what we're doing. We're using Claude in order to make the scripts for VidRush. That's exactly what I said. Like, you can do it yourself, but you can better hire a scriptwriter for $4 per video. And we pay $5 if the channel is monetized. If you haven't uploaded more than 10 videos, you don't need to look at impressions and stuff. It doesn't matter. You need to test it for a longer time. But let's go back to this part. So here, as an example, we have Amish gardening. So here are gardening tips, which is actually also a very high RPM niche on YouTube. And you can see here, they're actually posting 2 times a day right now as well. So they're creating a lot of scalability. And here we can see they're promoting Instagram as the first link, which I found interesting. Here, I would immediately build a gardening book. Repeat the exact same system, copy, paste it. You want to build a website like this one? You just put this in this, and you say, make one for Amish gardening. Do we have the whole document now? Hey, see? It's summarizing it. 100% band cover, 152 channels. It's now almost done, but we can start a new channel already. And then let me just say, like, build me a example website, HTML, for Amish gardening e-guide. Copy most stuff, 101, change all to gardening. And that's it. Simple as that. That pretty much gets you to there. And the same goes for health. Copy what works. You know, that's it. It's just fetching the website, getting all the data out there, and done. You know, copy paste it. And then you can build it in Lovable or something, another AI. And that's pretty much where the future is going to head. So after my holidays, I will also go ahead and upload the whole videos on how to build these books, etc. Then we also have David Nortis, who also has some crazy results, and also with digital e-guides. And we can see that right here. Once again, do want to clarify, this is not a student of ours. The reason that I specify this is that I hate gurus who take credit of other people's results. These are not our results. These people have done it before we did it, so I have to give them compliments in being very adaptable to the market. And it shows you pretty much the success that you can achieve with Faceless YouTube. Here, $3,000 plus days, an average of $2,000 a day for more than a week. That is some phenomenal results. $140,000 in a single month on his YouTube channels and also on the rest of the parts. And that shows you the scalability. And then we have his website, which is alias Yoder. Oh no, my deal has ended. And here I can still get the bundle for $97. So here they have multiple books. The Amish Blueprint, the Pantry Blueprint, and the Complete Field Edition, which has a free third book included. So one for 27, two for 1 for 47 as well, and then like all 3 for 97, which I assume people will just buy the $27 one. I'm very curious to see which product is sold the most out of this stuff. Also, I would just actually put this in the middle, because the middle is always where the attention goes. And then I would have that on the right side, left, right, and then the main one in the middle. That's how I would do it. And here there's some fake reviews, 40% bill reduction, 41% bill reduction, 44% bill reduction. And there's some fake reviews probably, because it doesn't link to a Trustpilot or anything else. Here, common questions. It even answered this. And also here, it seems that educational content based on documentary traditional method, individual results may vary based on climate, home characteristics, etc. And if you have questions, you can email them. Which is the exact same thing, which is the exact following channels, which is the channel owner, David. And as you can see here, they actually have a channel intro with a real human being behind it, which is very strong. It creates more brand trust. And as an example, you can see here, there's no banner picture. And then what David did very well is there's a banner picture. If people watch these videos on TV, they will be able to go ahead and scan this QR code when they visit the channel. That might just end up in an extra sale. And the same goes for the community post. Here, folks keep asking me to put the old ways on paper, so I did. 1-page free blueprint. And here they're collecting your email so they can go ahead and sell you up. In this case, a community post with either the real guy or the real guy plus this Amish guy selling you the book would work fantastically well. That's how they can get more sales. I made a 20-minute video, however, I had the wrong names attached to it. So I will probably remake that video tomorrow as well. And just upload it to YouTube again. That's pretty much it. Here, build with Ilya Yoder. So actually the building one already exists. So you see how one person misses something and the other person builds on something. Oh, sorry, builds on something. I don't know what this Energy Trap Volume 1 Netfly app is. It looks like a weird porno site. But that's that. So here we see exactly what they're posting. And you can see here 34,000 views in a single day. Here, just a couple hundred views. Talking about impressions. Even a channel with 36,000 subscribers still gets a video with just 700 views. And here we have like the $90 bladeless wind box that powers any home forever for free. And beats every solar panel. Okay, clear. That's something I would probably click on as well. And you see what works well. So the propeller stuff works well. We go to most popular and we can see the channel stats. How many views is this channel getting? If VidRush wants to load, let's go ahead and refresh it. And then it should load. There we go. Few channel stats. Here, 1.4 million views. Goes up, goes down, goes up. So 1.4 million views with an RPM of around $8 in the niche is going to be $12,000 in ad revenue alone. Now let's go ahead and have a look at the videos. One of the things we saw also here with the zoom in animation and the text animation is these are just VidRush videos. There's not even a face connected to these videos, and the flash effect that you just saw is another VidRush concept. The same with how this image is moving. So you have to understand how to identify VidRush style content based on the fonts that they use, based on the text animations that they use, based on the typing sounds that you hear. Because it's high quality YouTube automation edited videos in this case. I would always upload a channel intro before applying for monetization as well, just to increase your chances of getting accepted. Also, yes, I'm artistic. I'm playing with this thing the whole time. I know. That's that pretty much. So here, the timelines, we know all of this stuff is VidRush originated. Also these motion graphics. This is all VidRush. This is all done by AI. So this way, you can see that here, there's no face in this content. Here, you see this QR code coming up? That's how I look. You want to know another trick on YouTube? You swipe up on the timeline, and you can see more picture-perfect framing, which means I can go exact to the frame, where the QR code, after this frame, the QR code is going to appear. There you go. And here, eBook, scan with your phone. Now, the powerful thing here would for David to be, in this case, well, he's working very hard, but to go ahead and go on camera and promote his product. And that is the thing that our student actually did very well and is now getting even better results. Now, in this case, he didn't share a screenshot publicly, but I'll go ahead and find the specific example that we have here, which was greatly done by our students. But once again, I have a lot of communication and I don't want to leak anything I'm not supposed to. Let me see up here. Wait, was it already this long ago? 1 second, just need to... No, it's already longer ago than Monday. Wow. We were on this also quick, to be honest. Yeah, found it. Yeah, already a week and a half, actually. Let me go ahead and show the other example, which is also VidRush, but also an actual channel. Just want to make sure I don't leak any communication. That's why. So here, as an example, we have another channel. And in this case, I know the specific timestamp to look at. But the better way of promoting it is to get an actual human being involved. And this sounds very traditional, because Wanner, you're selling Faceless YouTube. Yes. First of all, you can hire an actor. You can hire a UGC spokesperson. You can even do this part with AI if you really want to. So yes, the faceless part still remains. However, what gives the most trust? The most trust is an actual human being on camera. So here you have this little video that's doing very well. And here you have a QR code to scan. You buy this book, you get this book for free, which is pretty much the 2 channels that he has that are performing very well. If you look at this video with 7.6K views, how much money do you think this book has made? Like, just this part. The ad revenue for this will probably be $76, according to $10 RPM. Maybe 15, it's very American, barbecue stuff. Might be $120. How much money do you think the ebook made here? Have a guess. No, not 50K. Not for 7,000 views. If that's the case, I'll stop coaching and start selling ebooks. $1,000. Yeah, pretty much $1,000. $1,000 on 7,000 views. That's pretty much an RPM of 150. So it shows you the power of having a real face behind the content. And that is pretty much what you want to keep building and keep making bigger. If we take a VidRush subscription to create videos, what other tools do we need? What other tools do we need to complete the full video process, or VidRush alone sufficient? Well, the channel I just showed you, both of the last 2 channels, without the face, like the AI face part, are 100% VidRush. Only just at around 7 minutes, there's like a little 1-minute ad break that they inserted, and then the video continues as normal. That's it. You just need a teleprompter for it, or like hire someone to make those videos for you. As simple as that. That's it. You can use AI. Once again, for AI, you probably have 3 options. You probably have VO3, HeyGen, and Seedance. Those are your 3 most realistic options. Most likely what you will be doing is you will be using ChatGPT to generate the image of the character and then animating from there on Seedance per 8 seconds. That's normally how it goes. Now, I want to show you something very cool in regards to making an ebook. I haven't finished it yet, but I just want to show you that it's in work in progress. And I think I'm able to save everyone a lot of time. And once again, I haven't even showed this to the members yet. This is just purely what I found myself. I just want to make sure I first find the stuff here. PDF guide with images. I think it's going to be this one. No, this is just a basic image style matching. I don't know why it doesn't have the right... Oh yeah, here it has. Yeah, okay, I got it. Okay, so I found a little trick, and I'm going to show you on how you can maximize your ChatGPT subscription without having to pay for API. And that's this part. So I generated these images earlier. I started a new chat, and I said these 2 photos define the exact style, lighting, color grade, and the mood for every image that follows. Match them precisely, same warm Kodak film look. Like, I don't know what the fuck Kodak Chrome is. I have no idea. Like, that's the reason we use AI. That's why AI can assist us. I'm not a film expert or a photographic expert. I do not know what that means. And if you know what that means, compliments on you. I think probably my niece is also watching this live stream. I saw that she joined on WhatsApp. So she probably knows what this means, but probably no one else in this chat knows what this means. And then same cream, red, butter, palette plates, same soft left window, window light, etc. So if you want to automate this in one go, you open up here, hence the reason you need AI subscriptions. That's the money you'll be spending. You open Claude. You just log in. Now, in this case, I'm not logged in. I can log in 2 seconds to show you. Let me just do that. Just need to authorize it again, most likely. Yeah. That's it. And now it works. I understand. Beta future. Next. I know. It's just updated. And as you can see here, it actually makes use of an older model as well. I will show you in a second. Here you go. As an example, now it shows. So, do you think that I actually sit down and make all of these images myself? Absolutely not. So pretty much what I did is I asked Claude for a prompt to go ahead and give Sonnet, or in this case here, Opus 4.8, or whatever you want to use. In this case, Sonnet was more than enough. To go ahead and give it a prompt, that it will do this part. You see these prompts, this one? The very detailed prompts that we have every single time. It is very consistent. You know what I did? I just put on a 12-hour playlist, put my computer on 1% brightness, and just have it generate the whole entire night. So when it hit a limit, I would just tell it to wait 30 minutes and continue, while my computer remains on the whole time. The whole book, every single image that I need for my cooking channel, made in a single prompt. Not a multiple, single. Every single prompt you see here is not me. The only prompt I did is the prompt in here. And on that, I will make more specific videos that will be in the program. But once again, if you understand how to prompt, if you don't understand how to prompt, ask Claude, hey, Claude, how can I do this in the Chrome browser extension? Make sure you have the browser extension installed. And go ahead and make a prompt so that I can get consistent images. These are 2 reference images. Break this down. Now make, I don't know, 40 different spin-offs on this. 20 different spin-offs. Bam, thumbnail design, automated. Damn, thing, automated. Everything. See the whole style? Every single prompt here is not a prompt by me. And here you have like the cover pictures that I did on the end. Final image stuff on a book as a thank you note. Thank you so much for reading. All done, single AI prompt. That is what I wanted to teach you. And here you can also see here, I wanted to go ahead and implement it, and it actually didn't do that correctly. So I'm having someone actually go over the books and insert all the correct images, break it down to Canva, and then make it a really good, nice thing. I think also here I asked for the website, image implementation, sales page review notes. I think this is just review. It might just download a zip file. Yeah, this is just a TXT file. There's nothing there. I can find the other one, but it pretty much one-hit a website as well. Let me just do that. I think it's cool to show. And then we'll go into the questions. We're already 100 minutes in. Oh yeah, by the way, I could show that for a second. We talked about the image stuff, right? Into making it for gardening. There you go. We got the entire ebook guide here. 200 pages, everything. Look at how simple this prompt was. That's it. That's all it took. The plant methods. Here, of course, you can insert an image. Here you can have the plant guide. There you go. One prompt. We just want to make it a little bit better. We want to make it look premium so that the conversion is highest on the freshest audience. So we're not chasing audience, we're chasing, in this case, perfection. So that's the only thing that's the difference why we haven't started on my, it's different. Doesn't mean we have to play around with it already. Like we understand how to make it from scratch. So here, let me see if I can find, oh, this is a housewife guide, I think. Yeah, this is the other one. I don't know if here it has the website. Let's see, it does. So here is an example. We have one for the 1950s. So if we want to make content as safe as possible, even on the Snoozetorian, what do we need to do? What is the number one thing we can do to make our sleep channel safer? Well, it's implementing a real face more often into the videos. So before the video starts, we will tell people on every 1950s video on how to be the perfect 1950s housewife. And of course, I don't like the website. Like, it needs to be changed. I want it to be a lot more better. This is just a single prompt to show how it works. You have all the chapters, you have to see how it looks like, the bedtime story, and you're going to get access. That's it. Like, this wouldn't sell as well as a cooking book, but the Snoozetorian is 80% female and like 60% older than 65. How well do you think those cooking books with a good image would still sell on the Snoozetorian? Probably for a community post that we're going to be making $1,000. That means that we go from $25,000 a month on the Sleep channel, with $5,000 on Spotify, with probably another $5,000 or $10,000 a month in ebook guides, just through community posts and intros of the videos. Now we're at 40. If Spotify grows a little bit further, now we're at $50,000 for a single YouTube channel. That's it. Now I want to go into the questions, and I think it's a very interesting question you're asking. Since David copied Goat channel and digital product, is Goat able to strike or demonetize his channel? No, because he doesn't own anything that's on his channel. The only thing he could make an argument for is the likenesness of the AI avatar, that's too familiar. That is the only thing they could actually mention as like something, but he's not doing that. He's just uploading traditional VidRush videos. You can make these videos in minutes. Now, we've already gone for 105 minutes, so to show exactly how to make those videos, we can do in another session. It is taught in the program as well. But better sense, hire a scriptwriter. Tell them what kind of videos you want. Give them the topic IDs. How to find the perfect topics is something we can cover in another session. There's a lot of tricks for that, and you also need NexLev for it. Now I want to go over all the questions, which means that I'll scroll all the way back up, and I'll cover them one by one. You can ask your questions. Don't spam it. You spam it, I will skip your question. I'm going to go through the questions. The first question of just I or J. In this case, I don't have your channel URL, so I can't answer that question. Then Digital Free says, please tell us how to make the best AI video editor, which will make high quality videos. There's not an AI video editor available that will make instant high quality videos. The closest thing to that is VidRush, which costs you $640 a month. how much we need to run a YouTube automation channel. A traditional YouTube automation channel, the budget that I recommend for everyone to have as minimum, like if you don't have this money, we turn you away as like someone we can coach, is having at least $700 a month. Claude is going to be 20, ChatGPT is going to be 20, then you have NexLev is going to be 12. You probably have some other software costs you're going to get in there, and then you have 640 for VidRush in order to get started. $700 a month is the minimum budget that I would recommend investing into digital assets.
Hey, Wanner, just real quick, I sent you my channel.
You manage 40 plus channels. Where do you actually get all that many Gmail accounts? I don't. A lot of the stuff is on a single Gmail account, and it has to do that my YouTube channels are connected to a YouTube CMS, which is a channel management system, which I'm actually the only coach in the entire world that owns a YouTube CMS outright. There's not a single other coach on YouTube that owns his own YouTube CMS. There's people that work with partnerships and constructions. We own it outright. I purchased a company last year in Belgium for a lot of money, and now I have the tool myself, which allows me to scale further. And that was necessarily, we were doing 2-3 million a year, so I needed a tool to save margin. It was costing me, in percentage-wise, even I got a 90-10 deal, it was costing me $200,000 all the way up to $400,000 a year working with these parties. So it made sense to invest a lot of money into getting my own tool. And please show what type of VidRush channels will be successful right now. Well, for that, you can go ahead and pretty much in the WhatsApp group, I will share the 9-page document, and you will be able to see which one is the best. I think I can check on Claude right now. Execute pasted text. Give me 2 seconds. I think right now we have it. Yay! Look at this. We have it. Let me just remove this. I can share this quickly, and I'll continue with the questions. So if you want to know which channels are the best, you insert this prompt. You get the channel dashboard. Now it's updated, 18th of June. It's going to be new channels in here. So you see, we already have a bunch of other channels. We have the same sort of thing. VidRush stuff. There we go. Here, Mac Biology, here 28 days ago. 3 million views. That's crazy result. We have the little toggle box. Those are AI image content. Not the safest, not the worst. Why white? Do they know? Are we scary? Very good questions. Also, rhetorical questions are very good. So this is a channel we could look at. Jong the Explainer. This is also sort of political stuff because he's very often right. I think this channel will still get terminated for also being an impersonator. But a very smart idea nonetheless. Here, Myths and Folktales. This is actually a channel of Luca, also a student of ours. Here, 52 days ago, started 1.4 million views. The RPM on this niche is around 9 or 10, which also means around $13,000 to $14,000 a month. Here, Silent Revenge Stories for Mom, with Mom. Also 1.3 million views, also seems to get a lot of views. I'm not a big fan of this content. So once again, we want to look for what can be VidRush. Here we have Reflin. Here we have sort of like the history stories. I love the thumbnail branding. You see how old paper this looks like? It sounds very stupid, but such small details make or break a channel. You want to have good channel branding. That's it. This document, by the way, I will upload it in a WhatsApp group. You just have to right-click, download, and then you can open it in your browser. It will probably not work on your phone, or it will show empty on your phone. So make sure you open it on a computer. One other person asked for cold cases. Well, here you go. Cold case reopened. 22, 30-minute long cold case stories in English. There you go. Because you said it's done in Spanish, but not in English. Well, in this case, here you go. 900,000 views. Probably $10 RPM. It's probably still going to be $9,000 a month. So still a lot of possibilities to get success. Can we see even more VidRush channels? This seems very weird content, to be honest. This stuff is VidRush, by the way. Angelo. And I also have some YouTube videos that talk more about identifying VidRush. I think one is already up, and the new one should be coming out tomorrow. I think Nout is also here. Yes, I see Nout here. Let me know if that's coming up tomorrow or not. Otherwise, tomorrow we might have just 2 videos in a single day on YouTube. It's going to be fun. Right now, there's not a lot of new recent channels that are actually succeeded. Here, Breaking with Joe Rogan is high risk. Here, Ultimate Trick, Genius Trap. This same sort of thumbnail style on just tractor stuff is a lot more safe, but not on anything news related. Anything news related with thumbnails, when I say breaking, will eventually get terminated. Some might last a couple of weeks, some might last a couple of months, but eventually it will get terminated. Here, Why You Wouldn't Survive the Food Winter Castle. Here we got AI storytelling again, about history as well. Here's 600,000 views, probably times $10 RPM. Once again, the VidRush estimates are inaccurate. So it's probably going to be $6,000 a month. So here we have a lot of stuff. Here we have a lot of sleep channels. And here, actually, it didn't pick everything good. Here it says new and proven, 188 channels. So as you can see, it made a mistake. Well, good enough. We actually have a thing in which we can filter this. So now it only will show me content that's 60 minutes or longer. And that is why this stuff is so overpowered. I don't know what Bang Boom is. Oh, this is also crime stuff in English. There you go. One more. You see how easy it is to find these channels? Here it's SEAL stories. Again, a little bit inauthentic content. Something we want to be safe with. Dark Planet. Possible. The Sleepy Space channel. Here you got another space channel. Started 47 days ago. 666,000 views. At RPM in space niche is about 20, which is $12,000 a month for this channel. I know that because a lot of our largest students are in the space niche. And you can see why, because the data shows up and there's a lot of ways on making this content and the demand is there. So why wouldn't you make that content? Here, Dark Histories, same thing. Here, what is this? Is it the Nigerian Bible? Or the Black Bible, what they refer to? I'm not sure. The Book of Enoch. Yeah, it's a sort of same thing. Here's Zero Realm anime, really long anime stories. I'm not a fan of free in the titles. Can be high risk. Immersive Bible stories, The Garden of Eden, This Is Not Your Bible, Bible Darkest Chapter, long Bible storytelling channels. So here you have all the channel examples. Here you have like monk videos, very simple videos as well. Anyone can make videos like The Midnight Monk. Really simple, actually gets monetized as well. Earth Raider, another student of ours, another CMS client of ours as well, doing very well. Here, Hidden USSR history, talking about those stories. Just 215,000 views, but still, in this case, maybe $10 RPM. There's also $2,000 a month. And the video cost is probably $5 or less. So it shows you how easy it is to find these channels. I will send this dashboard to everyone so everyone has an equal playing ground. So that's pretty much it. Let me go over the questions. What keeps you going hosting these events and programs while you're at such a level of success? I love that question. That question is very nice of you to ask. That's a personal question. I like that one. So what keeps me going? Well, I already have this level of success. There's pretty much two things, and I'm going to be completely honest here. Number one, what keeps me going is I started YouTube at the age of 6. I am now 26 years old. I have been on this platform for 20 years. I've grown up on this platform. And I actually don't have the book right here. It's called The Daily Laws. And I actually started reading it yesterday again. Out of all odds, I read it yesterday. Day 1, Law 1 of 365 days laws is reconnect with your inner child. Who are you and what actually makes you happy? When I was 6 and I got introduced by my dad for video games and I learned RuneScape, me and my friends, we were playing imaginary RuneScape. Just doing this. And writing down how many times we chopped the tree. And that pretty much got me into YouTube. Eventually, I wanted to make money in RuneScape. So I was fucking 6. And I got the obsession with making money. In a relatively healthy way. And in the beginning, until 2013, regular YouTube channels couldn't even be monetized. This was just a passion of mine. Eventually, I had a video go viral, which was called Jack Hyde Trading. And I got 15,000 views. Well, imagine that. You're a 6-year-old child, or maybe 7 at that time, and you get 15,000 views on a video. We're talking 2006, 2007 here. We're talking 20 years ago, when there were just a couple thousand accounts registered on YouTube. So that got me hooked, and I started doing what I loved. Then when I was 13, I did Minecraft Hunger Game videos. I started doing Pokemon Go videos. I actually got kind of popular. I changed my Instagram account 4 or 5 different times because I got, in quote, too famous and I wanted to get rid of my followers, and it kept happening. Even if you type my name on Instagram right now, you will still see some profiles which is like fangirl, Wanner, XYZ, something, which is hilarious if you think about it. But it exists. And that's, by the way, it's not my page. I'm not too cringy to make an own fan page. Trust me. I know that's a method to grow your accounts, but I'm not doing that. I heard one person say that once to me when I met them in real life. Who's Wonder Fangirl? I was like, yeah, I don't fucking know. That's like 10 years ago. But still exists. You can find it. So what allows me to host and do these events? One of my goals is also building generational wealth. We're actually revamping our website right now. Once that's ready, I will send it in the group chat as well. Is that I love to learn the game of money. I think money is nothing else than a game. And I have done quite well. Like, I can stop at any time, at any day. Like, my properties, we calculated for Twitter posts. I made 18,000 euros and then probably 2,000 euros in cost. So 16,000 euros on my villas in Indonesia. The house that I live in, the studio, everything you see here is paid for. I have no mortgages, nothing. Which means I can live for the rest of my life very comfortably. So Eric, hence the reason I like your question. What gets you going at this level? So when I was when I was 15, I got introduced into YouTube networks, MCN, CMS. And I really liked that, and it was very interesting. And I managed to scale to some good money. I was 15, I was making $3,000 a month. That's how much money I was making. As a 15-year-old, when I was 16, I discovered a hidden trick on YouTube, which is called the unlisted method, which is where you purchase viewers on a video that is unlisted. And after 2,000 views, you would make this video public, and you would rank #1 for every single hashtag that combines with your video title. And I was uploading a lot of Minecraft animations, and that's how I went from $3,000 a month to $26,000 a month at the age of 16. So I discovered like the hidden tricks of YouTube. I got in contact with pretty much every single big YouTuber out there. I don't have the proof for this. I'm going to be completely honest. But one of the things that I can say very confidently, and I can have other people confirm this, is when I was 16, I traveled to Melbourne to visit friends called Senat and Master Saint. Master Saint back then is pretty much the equivalent of what Mr. Beast is now today. He was getting 10 to 50 million views a video. And we were just playing soccer. We were hanging out every single day, making YouTube videos. And I skipped on school for a month straight, just because I was having that much fun in Australia, and I was making really good money. So, fuck school. So what keeps me going is this. I love this game. I love understanding how to build digital products, how this develops, how this changes. And in all honesty, like, the only reason I don't, like, give everything away for free and why I have a coaching program is because time is money. That's the simple answer. Like, you want to learn from someone who's good at the game, you have to pay money for it. Like, if I invest if I invest an hour into my YouTube business, I will probably make around 1,000 to 1,500 euros. Meaning that if I want to coach you, I should be making the equivalent of that money. Otherwise, I'm losing money. Not because I necessarily want to charge you 1,000 an hour or because I want to charge you 1,500 an hour. Like in this case, I do this session for free because I want people to understand how I coach, how I teach things, and how I look at opportunities. And I found that important. Like, I could have made this a 500-slide PowerPoint presentation and be like, hey, everyone, this is the new offer. We're going to sell you e-guide stuff. No, I'm just sharing this right now. I have a coaching program. You can pay for it. That's completely up to you. In that hands, I don't care that much. I like to work with you if you have the trust to work in me and you have the money to invest. That's just what you need. If you don't have $700 a month available, don't do it. Honestly, don't do it. The chances of you succeeding will probably be 20%. If you have the money, your chances of succeeding will probably be 80%. That's the big difference. So the reason that I do this is because I love the game and I love helping other people. I think that I've been put on this earth by God. In this case, there might be some Muslim people here, but I truly believe that I've been put on this earth to help other people and to teach to people. I love giving presentations. I love teaching people. I want to do a lot more real life events as well. I just don't have the size to do that yet, to go to Dubai and be like, hey, I can sell out a whole place for 50 tickets. I don't have the scalability yet. I hope to get there. I hope one day, Eric, that I can go ahead and buy an office in the Netherlands and have a bunch of people over and teach them in person. Really build good relationships. And eventually, at the end of the day, an average coaching company is supposed to have 60%, 70% profit margins. We run on 35%, 40% because we believe in good coaches. That's a really big difference. The average coaching industry gets like pays for delivery, which is coaches, 9% of their monthly revenue. We pay 18%. So we pay double the standard industry average, and that's because we focus on quality. And every single one of our coaches makes over $30,000 a month, so they understand the game. They also, all of them, still get actively coached by me, which means like we have weekly meetings and we go over this and we explain the new details, which is so important. Hence the reason I want to do that. How does it work in the Netherlands for taxes? In this case, yeah, I'm fucked. I don't know how to go around that. Taxes are just, I believe it's like theft. It's legalized theft. That's my opinion about taxes. If they would actually protect the borders and stuff, I think it's a different conversation, but that's my political opinion, which I'm also not afraid to share. Do you have any tips on how to spot the perfect VidRush niche? I literally taught you that in this video. And otherwise, watch back this recording, because then you need it if that question still exists. VidRush 2 costs. That's incorrect English. But VidRush costs too much, then you need to find a way to make money to pay for VidRush. You want to create scalability, you want to make $10,000, $30,000 a month, then you should focus on that. Sir, can you please show me? It's so funny. I immediately know when someone is India if they start the sentence with sir. Every single person does the same thing. Sir, can you please show how to create the whole video process from selecting the topic, script, and video creation and thumbnail so that we can understand how to decide the tools we require? No, I give you the tools you require. You need to hire other people to do the video for you. Hence the reason it is called YouTube automation. You're automating the YouTube process. Okay, here David actually asks a couple very long questions. I'm going to cover a few more questions and then I'll stop the recording and I'll go over the rest of recording. What's really the best way to place ads to increase RPM on ultra long format videos? I'm going to skip the rest of the question. It is not playing ads the first 15 minutes because you want to give the viewer the opportunity to fall asleep. After 15 minutes, you start playing ads. Do you recommend buying pre-monetized channels? No, absolutely not. Pre-monetized channels can have AdSense issues. They can have any sort of issues. You get issues once, you get issues on everything. You're going to get fucked. Does a collaboration strategy work? Yes. Are you familiar with it? That's an insult question. David, of course I know how that works. Come on, man. I breathe this platform. We were using it on day one it came out. That's how we got a lot of channels viral. You can look at the Snoozetorian, scroll down. You can find 7 of my channels just by looking at the collaboration posts. Yeah, pre-monetized not recommended. What is your fastest strategy to safely get monetized VidRush channels right now? Like I wouldn't promote this if it doesn't work. Like we're using it so much. We're spending 5K a month on it right now, which isn't the most. Like we have students spending 20K a month on VidRush, but they're also making 100, 150K a month. I'm not making 100K with VidRush, by the way. We're making good money on VidRush, but not 100K a month. Are sleep channels banned or is it just a format? No, it's just that everything is AI image and it's auto-generated. You don't want to do auto-generated content, you want to bring a human element in it. Hence the reason why I said like we're building the digital product of the how to be the perfect 1950s housewife to go ahead and I will shoot here with the teleprompter like, hey everyone, just before you're going ahead and drifting away to sleep, I want to let you guys know that we have now a new ebook on how to be the perfect 1950s housewife. So if you love this channel and you would like to support it, you can purchase it with the link in the description. That being said, wishing you a good night. That's it. But what happens is that every single video or twice a week or 3 times a week, my face will now be in the video. So when it scans it, it will look like a human created channel. So it makes the channel more safe. And I make more money. So it's a win-win. Can the one that is not mute themselves? Yeah. Beauty products, that's all the answers. Let me go further for questions. That's pretty much it. Okay, so before this is ending, I see we have 123 people left out of the 150. I just would like to invite every single one of you, if you're interested in coaching and you have at least $700 a month, once again, I find that a very important thing right here. I'll just quickly grab the link. You can go ahead and simply schedule a call. I just need to find the link, to be honest. You can go ahead and schedule a call. And in the call, it's a discovery call. So it's pretty much how much money do you make? What you want to do? What kind of content do you want to get started with? I'll just spam it a few times in chat. You can just go ahead and book a call. Once again, you do not need to join if you don't want to. For the prices, it also depends what you want. So the program on its own is just its own thing. And then there's coaching, but there's a lot of different coaching things. As an example, there might be some people in this call that are already making $10,000, $30,000 a month. They are the best off buying advanced coaching. Well, advanced coaching is a lot more expensive than introduction coaching, where you get new and you need to get the implementation. It's different. So we have a bunch of different packages in this case. So I would highly recommend you to book a call so we can look at your situation and partner you with the right coach. That's it. No obligations. Check it out. If you like this call, you like the way that I coach, then this is the #1 thing you can do. For anyone watching this back on YouTube, the link will be in the description. You can go ahead and book a coaching call or a discovery call there. It's not a coaching call. Let that be very clear. I've misspoken. That is a discovery call. It's not a coaching call. If you invest $700 a month with VidRush, how long will it take you to monetize? Probably less than a month. That's it. So that's pretty much it. Any links that you need, the VidRush one, the code to also bypass the 20,000 people waiting list, the NexLev link, the recap of this video, everything like that will actually be sent to you. So that's pretty much it. All of that will be in the WhatsApp group. If you're not in the WhatsApp group, it will also be posted into the Discord. On YouTube, then I don't know yet. Maybe it's in the description, maybe not. I'm not sure. What the fuck is Automazed VAs? I do not know what that is. I think that might be typo. Where's the Z next to? I have no idea. Oh, virtual systems, of course. No, I was wondering what automazed means. I thought you meant like automated, like AI agents or something. The YouTube video restart. 1 second. What was this question? Warner. You misspelled my name, by the way. Warner, did YouTube recently start flagging 11 Labs voiceover? No. This has to do with government requirements. The government needs to be able to identify if a content is made with AI or not. Hence the reason there's called Synth ID. And Synth ID has been created in order to go ahead and help avoid the doubt if something is AI generated or not AI generated. It doesn't flag if you can monetize or not monetize. Starting a quiz channel 2026 is a bad idea. I actually am making Loom videos about that this weekend for my team. Is because we're mostly stopping a lot of the quiz channels that we have. And we're telling the team to work on different skills because we're going to be stepping away mostly from the niche because of all the reuse content issues on the channel, even with the CMS channel. It is absolutely crazy. Today we even got flagged for kids content, which doesn't make sense at all. So I'm pretty pissed about that on YouTube. So I also go through hardships. Please tomorrow post a video on the complete benefits of VidRush. Yeah, I think that will be coming out tomorrow. I see there's a bunch more questions. I kind of want to keep it at this. I've now been going for 2 hours and 6 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Holy shit, there's so many questions. I might do another session after my holidays in a month from now, so I'll keep the WhatsApp group active. And meanwhile, I'll post some YouTube videos and stuff, and I'll send everything in there. And then next time we can go ahead and cover more questions, as there will be less to discuss. Like, we haven't even touched on how to do script writing yet. Like, a lot of things we haven't even touched. So I might do another one after my holidays. So that's pretty much it. Also, by the way, Abu, I see you spamming the same question multiple times. Please don't do that. I already answered the quiz one. Why do I only run in English and Snoozetorian? Because it makes a lot of money and I don't want any issues. Yeah, we can do like on YouTube with uploading different audio tracks, but it also reduces often the RPMs. We saw that happen on Coabocopsis' channel on Blue. Hence the reason I'm not a fan of it. I'd rather start a sort of duplicate channel and repeat the best performing content and just make it from scratch in Spanish. And that's it. I actually might do that. I don't think that's a bad idea at all. Thanks for the question. That gave me an idea. Yes, we warm up a channel. It's on our Twitter. Pretty much first 2 days we look at content, we like, we comment. We don't do anything. Day 3 we add the logo, banner, etc. We still just wait for 2 days, keep commenting, and pretty much watch 30 minutes of content of your competitors a day, and then we go live. On VidRush we skip this because on VidRush it is often speed is key. So we create a channel and we just want to go live as soon as fucking possible. That's it. Will you explain how to create a script for VidRush? I can answer the question, but explaining that will take me another 15 minutes. Go to a competitor, download 3 scripts, ask Claude to very much in-depth break down the scripts, ask it to go ahead and turn it into a in Claude Code, not in Claude Chat, in Claude Code. Go ahead and change it into Claude Code, then go ahead and pretty much name it the channel name you have. So as an example, we have a channel called Old Money Dynasty, and then it's like / Old Money Dynasty script. We pretty much pick space, so it understands what it needs to do. We insert the title, we get the whole script. Put it into VidRush, done. That's it. That's how simple it can go. That's how it works. So the VidRush stuff video, I will also do that. Now, I'm not sure if you took notes, but I think it's good to go ahead and draft up a good WhatsApp message. Yeah, that's it. Now I'm fucking tired. All right. Perfect, everyone. I hope every single one of you enjoyed it. I want to wish you all a very beautiful day. And thanks for being here. 108 people kept towards the end. It's much appreciated. I already asked a lot of questions, Bora, so I'll do that next time. Please go ahead and feel free to book a call, and that's it. Perfect. Thanks, everyone. Have a lovely day.